They had a nightmarish first date, with Diane Kruger wondering if she should slap Joshua Jackson. And suddenly, an earth-shattering love that lasted a decade. How did Kruger and Jackson keep the flame burning, and why did she think that their breakup was liberating? Welcome to Rumour Juice. In today's episode, we're gonna dive into a surprisingly passionate romance between Diane Kruger and Joshua Jackson. Unlike most women who were in their teens and early 20s during the dawn of Dawson's Creek, Kruger wasn't an adoring fan of Jackson's before she met him. In fact, she wasn't exactly a fan after she met him either. Yes, it seemed like they were made for each other, but Kruger and Jackson couldn't find a common language at first. Jackson once revealed that his first date with the German actress was a miserable one, thanks to a dangerous cocktail of allergens and nerves. He took her to an Italian restaurant. A waitress arranged blooming flowers on their table. It should have been a perfect date. But it turned out that Kruger was allergic to the flowers, so she sniffed and sneezed the entire time. Jackson explained, "And when I get nervous, you might have noticed I talk a lot, so I just chewed her ear off for an hour and a half. It was amazing. I'm surprised she ever called back." Well, it sounds like she nearly didn't. Kruger told Conan O'Brien that she wasn't even aware that she and Jackson were going on a date on that fateful evening in 2006, as his invitation had been unclear. "He thinks he asked me out on a date, which is not true, because I did not agree to that. I agreed to have drinks with him," Kruger said. She actually had plans with someone else for dinner. "It's a mystery and a miracle she said yes to this invitation." Kruger added, "We were sitting at the bar and it's 9 o'clock and I'm ready to leave. And he was like, 'Let's go, we have dinner reservations.' And I felt really bad because he looked very eager and he put on a clean shirt. So I was like, okay, fine, let's go." Kruger thought her allergies might cut the date short, but alas. She thought he might suggest calling it a day, but that didn't happen. Jackson talked about himself for an hour and a half, non-stop. Oh, and it did get worse. Kruger wasn't pleased with the end of their dinner either. "He took me back to my hotel in his car, which was a piece of shit." She explained that Jackson's car smelled so bad she could hardly bear it. Jackson himself didn't look like the tidiest guy in the world, so the damage was done. And after all that, he still went in for a kiss. "I swear to God, at the end I was like, should I slap him?" Kruger admitted.
So yeah, I might have talked a little bit too much at dinner, but I was just trying to keep the conversation moving, and then why not lean in for the kiss?
Jackson, however, instantly fell in love. The next day he sent her flowers, with a box of Kleenex. But wait, you don't want to miss out on the next videos about your beloved stars, right? Subscribe and get your hands on the latest news on spicy celebrity life. By the end of 2006, the ambiguity was gone. Jackson and Kruger were establishing themselves as one of the most beautiful Hollywood couples. But they were skeptical about the possibility of marriage. Kruger, who'd previously been married to director Guillaume Canet, repeatedly explained that she and Jackson didn't equate marriage with commitment. "No paper you have signed will keep you around," she shared. 2 years later, Jackson revealed that neither he nor Diane were particularly religious, so they didn't feel any urge to tie the knot. But like any good media-trained person in the public eye, he kept the door open, adding, "But never say never, I don't know." Jackson was over the moon that the ice had finally melted and he was with Kruger. She had a great impact on his life. Given Kruger's past as a model and her omnipresence at fashion weeks, it was only natural that Jackson brushed up on his style. When you're in a relationship, you want the other person to appreciate the things you like. Kruger described Jackson's tremendous transformation. "It sounds superficial, but it's nice. And naturally, that comes with sacrifice. I used to have a collection of Adidas sneakers, but one day, all the obnoxiously colored ones disappeared," Jackson said in an interview. Diane still claims I must have lost them somewhere. In 2015, Jackson praised Kruger for her confidence and channeling that into her style. He also added that self-respect was one of the most attractive things about Kruger. He was mesmerized by the way she manifested it in daily life.
I think we need men to have our backs and push us to become women, good women.
Jackson acknowledged that he'd learned a thing or two from her through the years too. "I certainly pay more attention to how I dress now than I did a decade ago before we started dating," he opened up. Jackson also proved that he could be of assistance in a fashion emergency when Kruger attended what is arguably the world's most fashionable film festival, Cannes. For a closing night in 2012, the Inglourious Basterds star opted for a glamorous Dior gown complete with a massive hoop skirt that took her an hour to put on. Once I finished dinner, I had to go to the bathroom, and it became so tight that I couldn't breathe anymore, Kruger shared. Josh had to come with her to the ladies' room and cut Kruger out of the unfortunate dress. He literally had to help her remove it so that she could go to the bathroom. It was crazy. Kruger ironically admitted, "That's real love, isn't it? To have someone like him help me in the weirdest situations. He's great and he's like my hero." Jackson was even ready to risk his life for Kruger. Such was the case when she introduced him to her German mother. Kruger, who said she'd only bring men to meet her mother if the relationship was somewhat serious, explained to Jimmy Kimmel that it's a German tradition to have coffee and cake when you return home. When Jackson visited, Kruger stressed the importance of this ritual. "I said, you have to have a cake, you have to have coffee, even if you don't like it. He has a nut allergy. It had almonds in it. I was like, you're eating it, you're definitely doing it." And so he did. What is up with this couple's casual disregard for the danger of allergic reactions? Things were going well, and luckily no medicine was necessary when Kruger's mother brought over a folder filled with clippings depicting Jackson. The dossier included Jackson's 2002 mugshot that the actor earned after drunkenly assaulting a security guard at a hockey game. Kruger was not amused by her mother's stunt. She thought it would be cute to go, "So I see you've been arrested in 1997 at the hockey game," and says, "Whose fault was it?" Diane added, "We were there for 3 days. We did not speak for 2. It was not good." Mortifying as that sounds, you've got to admit that's some grade A rom-com material. In July 2016, it was reported that Jackson and Kruger had split after 10 years together, with little detail given other than that they remained friends. The following year, Kruger said in the interview that her split from Jackson had been a long time coming, noting that they'd broken up months before it was public knowledge. "You don't break up overnight after 10 years, she revealed. "It wasn't like an urgent, oh my god, I can't sleep at night thing," she described the process.
I just think it's as long as you want to make it work, you will keep working on it, and I think the day you wake up and you don't want to anymore, you move on.
The actress opened up that their relationship breakdown occurred at a time when she lost both her grandmother and stepfather. But her separation from Jackson after a decade of dating was actually liberating. Perhaps the reason for Kruger and Jackson's split was tied up in this tragic loss. It seems as if the actress was facing daunting life challenges that could have dramatically changed her life. Surviving that tumultuous romance, where are Kruger and Jackson now? The stylish actress also told the magazine that she felt like she was going through an identity crisis. Kruger realized she was living her life in a bubble and had a very privileged life. "I didn't know anything about what was really going on in the world, and I didn't ask enough questions," Kruger said, adding that that was the moment she decided to make a change and cut people out of my life who I felt were enabling my bubble.
The story happens to me as it happens to Katya, so there were moments I felt like I wasn't even acting, I was just reacting to the situation.
4 years after his difficult breakup, Jackson's romantic life has taken a turn for the positive.
It would be so hard to start dating again after 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And things have changed a little bit since last time I was single.
The Mighty Ducks star is very happy after tying the knot with the British actress Jodie Turner-Smith. The two first sparked dating rumors in November 2018 when they were spotted holding hands in Los Angeles. As the couple welcomed their baby girl, the Queen and Slim star has strong opinions about where their growing family will thrive. During an interview, she hinted that the couple might return to her husband's native Canada. Life was rife with surprises for Kruger as well, and the actress isn't holding back when it comes to divulging life after a long-term romance. She and Walking Dead star Norman Reedus welcomed a daughter in 2018. Despite Kruger's previous declarations about marriage, she and Reedus are currently engaged. We've been wondering, what do you think about Kruger and Jackson's breakup? Would you like to hear some special stories about celebrities who are on your radar? Don't hesitate to let us know and stay tuned.